his career moving forward.
I'm thinking about a quarterback who grew up close to Cincinnati, had offers to go a lot of places, but chose to stay home, high school quarterback. That's Evan, also Gino. How nice was it to have Gino to sort of be like, this is the model?
I think it's for us, and I can't say that we knew it off the bat because Gino wasn't in right off the bat, and I didn't know as much about him, but what a benefit it's been, not just to Evan Prater and the quarterbacks, but Jaheim and a lot of guys that have an opportunity to stay home that have to overcome some of the opinions of friends and people maybe around that look at logos and look at sizes of stadiums or conferences and have opinions, but didn't realize all the benefits we were getting to having Coach Gino, his family, but also his history, not just here, his opportunities and options he had coming out that guys can relate to a lot better than anything I've been through or anybody else on the staff.
Thanks.
Sure.
You get the same benefit from Coach Mickens? Seems like
we do, and we will.
Not as local, but
yeah, quarterbacks are always a different story. So everybody knows who the quarterbacks are. Even though Coach Mick's an All-American and stuff like that, no disrespect to him. Even Coach Guduli's in the Hall of Fame. We're pushing for that, but there is a difference to quarterbacks and guys understand and know a little bit more about them sometimes than just guys that lead the program and time interceptions and things like that. It's just what it is.
When did he come to you, or when did you guys start to realize with Ahmad that this guy might be something different?
Well, I think in fall camp we noticed. I mean, there's something to being played out there, and it's not just always speed, and it's not just always the intangible things. There's some other things. Confidence level has a lot to do with that. He got a lot of reps in fall camp and some things like that. And, I think with Arquan being dinged up early in the year and not being able to go, it gave him a little bit more opportunities. But I can't say that we saw what was going to happen in the UCF game. It's just because of our philosophy and the ability to play a bunch of guys, especially as we got to the UCFs and the guys that go the tempo that they do. I'm not saying we were forced to put him in, but in some ways we were forced to put him in and maybe didn't realize what we had. A little bit happened with Arquan last year.
Yeah.
We didn't play him, and in some ways you were forced to put him in at the end of the year because guys were hurt, and holy cow, you don't always realize what you have until those guys have an opportunity.
You've been doing this a long time. How many guys have you seen that have gone from 6th on the depth chart to freshman All-American, first team All-Conference?
Not as many, but the difficult thing to do is to sustain and maintain and continue to move forward, because where criticism can make you mad and things like that, praise can change you a little bit. And we got to make sure that with that confidence doesn't come overconfidence. But he's got a really bright future going the way he's going right now, and he's been an incredible asset to us in 1 year. But I wish we could say that even recruiting him, you saw the instincts and some of the things that happen when the lights go on. But that's what you got to find out.
One of the most fun stories so far has probably been Wilson Huber going into the phone booth, changing uniforms halfway through practice every day. Going back and looking at him on tape yesterday, did he look as good as it looked live? Because he was all over the place. In the program in general, we want to find ways to get those guys that it means so much to the play hard guys. The guys that every day, no matter what happens, and he hasn't had maybe as many opportunities on offense or at the tight end positions based on the depth chart, and with the way Josiah's played and everybody's played, and but he has done an unbelievable job on special teams, and we start to notice those things. And we're always about projecting. We're always about, hey, where's it going to be the best for the future for him and the program? And he gives us a lot of options. We're going to continue to work around with it. We tried it last year with Pierce, and all of a sudden he goes back and he's one of the leading receivers for us. So I'm not saying we've got all the answers, but we want to try to find different ways to get the guys on the field. And that's a giant middle linebacker.
It's big. It's big, and he probably will do some different things for us for this week or for this bowl game. Maybe not in the middle. We still would be right there, but maybe a little bit more playing some edges for us.
Is he the perfect example of get out there on special teams, make a difference, and catch your eye? And
He is. He's also a great example of what hard work can do and what development can do. It's not just us developing, but him developing the mindset and his skills to play the game of football, not just a specific position, but in general to play the game of football. And that's what shows up on the special teams. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities for him as we continue to move forward.
He said he loves to hit people, but all he really wants is to catch one touchdown. So to get him a touchdown pass in Birmingham.
He might get one a little bit quicker from the defensive side of the ball. he had a couple opportunities. He'll have plenty more, I'm sure, whether it's in Birmingham or in the next couple of years.
This time of year we see a lot of transfers, a lot of coaching changes. What is the stability that's going on here? What advantages does that give to you guys?
Well, we got to keep it up. I think that's the most important thing, and it's with players and coaches as well. I think from the outside is when people start to really look back at it to say, okay, there must be some good things, not just what's happening on the football field. It's easy to evaluate what's happening on the football field. It's wins and losses. But what's happening inside the program, meaning what kind of culture, what kind of environment's created for the players as well as the coaches. And we spend a lot of time trying to do that. It's not perfect. It's always evolving for the players and the coaches. But it's something that's important to us, because it's not just about money. It's not just about titles. People stay because of family. People stay because of a lot of little things, and we try to really make sure we focus on that.
DeGuara obviously is capping off a great season, great career. Can you describe just what makes him unique as a tight end and as a pass catcher?
I think that his development over the last 3 years, his ability to do it all. Everybody, even going into the season, you thought he's a guy that's caught a lot of passes. He's a guy that can be a receiver, can flex out. But I think what he has done to show and to prove how well he can and will block has really taken his game to the next level. And he's got a bright future. Not just in this game this in a couple of weeks, but at the next level.
So he was just saying he came in as a tweener between tight end and receiver, but how has he shaken the reputation and established himself as a real prospect?
He'll go into the next level as a tweener, because some people are going to say he's not 6'4", 6'5", and that might be one of those things. But the reality is he's a ball player. He's developed the ability to do it all, and I think that's sometimes when you look at that tight end position. There always a prototypical size and things that you want, but what you want is football players, guys that, are not a liability at whether it's catching the ball or blocking, but guys that can do it all, and especially at that position.
And then lastly, Desmond Ridder, what have you seen from him coming off the AAC championship game and heading into bowl season?
I see a little bit of spark off behind him. Going into that AAC championship game after sitting out the week before, notice something a little bit different. Just his ability to, lead, make everybody around him better. His enthusiasm to some things. I think that it was harder on him early in the season. That sophomore coming off the year you do as a freshman is really, really difficult. We talked about it, but I think I've seen a little bit different Desmond Ridder in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
And then just on the field in practice, has he looked like himself is healthy?
No, that's what I mean. I don't just evaluate the games. I evaluate the practices more, how you are in the building, because especially for that position. There's so much more to it than just what you do on Saturdays.
Yeah, Coach Fickell, this is I just a quick question about Coach Gaduli. Obviously you want to get the best coaches at the position players, but him being a former player and having related to the Desmond Ridders and the quarterbacks, some of the great quarterbacks have been through here, how much does that play into the success of the program, and maybe if the players see his passion for the program, they become passionate about the program.
There's no doubt. To have some guys that it means a little bit different. I don't mean it doesn't mean as much to me and doesn't mean as much to Coach Freeman, because it's not our alma mater. But the whole history and the longevity and even the story of where he's come from makes it that much different. And that doesn't make you a great coach.
Thank you.
It doesn't mean that, hey, you're going to be great just right here. But there's some different things, and I think it's unique, the relationship and the ability to communicate and talk with a quarterback, because it's a different position. And sometimes if you haven't played it and been in those situations, I think it's a little bit difficult to get that relationship, to get that truly bond, to be able to relate to him. And I think he's got quite a unique history, but also a knack to play in the position, but also understanding that everybody's a little bit different and can provide some different perspective for him. Thank you. Sure. Appreciate it.